A lot of us really want to learn something new, pick up new skills, and expand our knowledge. But sometimes we just can't seem to get ourselves motivated. This brings up a lot of questions like, why do we feel stuck? What's stopping us from taking action? Let's dive into Chapter 1. We need to talk about procrastination first because chances are you're about to try something new. But here's the thing. You might not actually be thrilled by the idea of learning. And there's a reason for that. Learning something new adds stress to your brain. Yep, that's right. The part of your brain that processes pain also lights up when you try to learn. No wonder it feels uncomfortable. So the idea of setting aside time to learn something new can actually make us anxious. After all, why would we want to do something that feels like it's causing us harm? But here's the best part. Just start. Sounds simple, right? But it's powerful. The key is to take the first step. The longer you wait, thinking you need to be in the right mood, the harder it gets. But once you begin, that discomfort fades away. It's like stepping into the learning zone, and the more you do it, the easier it becomes. But there's always another challenge. Once you've started, obstacles will pop up. You might get distracted or frustrated, breaking your flow. When you don't get the instant reward you expected, your brain craves something else, something more immediate. The trick? Start again. It's all about finding that initiative again. And remember, while scrolling through social media or playing games gives you short-term satisfaction, the long-term benefits come from focusing on real work and study. Now, here's the cool part. Learning is all about neurons, those little brain cells that communicate through synapses. Your brain has billions of them, and every time you learn something new, your brain creates more. So don't stress. You're not going to run out of space for learning. However, it's still important to rest. You can't cram everything at once. Your brain needs time to process the information and make it stick. Learning is all about repetition. And as you go back to review, those synapses strengthen. Your brain is excellent at remembering things. It just remembers what's important to you. If you forget something, it's probably because you didn't have a strong reason to remember it. That's why, if you're learning something like drawing, it's better to focus on one thing at a time. Instead of trying to tackle anatomy, perspective, and color theory all at once, focus on fixing your biggest flaws right now. That's how you create a real need to learn. And when you're reading a book or studying a subject, don't start at the very beginning and read everything. Just focus on the parts you need right now and go back to them when you need to refresh your memory. But here's the most important thing: sleep. Sleep is essential for processing all the new synapses your brain is creating. It helps clean up the metabolic waste from your brain so that everything stays clear and functional. Without proper sleep, you'll struggle to remember things, and it'll feel like your brain is clogged. Exercise and socializing also help your brain. Physical activity and connecting with others actually stimulate the creation of new neurons. If you stay physically active and keep up with social interactions, you'll boost your ability to study and learn. On the flip side, staying isolated can lead to depression. Now, you might be tempted to study while listening to music or watching videos. That can be fun, but it's not the most efficient. Still, if you're okay sacrificing a bit of efficiency for enjoyment, it's perfectly fine to mix it up. Here's how I approach it. We have two modes of thinking. The first is focused mode, also called logical or left brain mode. This requires concentration and no distractions, and it's where most of the learning happens. Then, there's diffused mode, or the creative right brain mode. In this mode, your brain is free to wander. You're not necessarily learning new things, but reinforcing what you already know. It's okay to listen to music or watch videos when you're in this mode. So knowing that we shift between these two modes, we can optimize how we learn. When focusing on learning something new, eliminate distractions. But when being creative or expressing something, let your mind wander. But no matter what you're learning, you have to do it yourself. You can't just watch a video of someone painting and expect to master the craft. Understanding comes from doing. Learning is about solving problems, and you have to solve them yourself. Sometimes learning can feel impossible because the material is so unfamiliar, but don't just memorize the name or category of something. Dig deeper until it feels real to you, until it becomes part of your reality. For example, with drawing. To imagine an eye, think of it like a marble with eyelids covering it. Or, when drawing a figure, focus on drawing from the head down to the dominant leg to feel the gravity and weight. The key is not getting lost in the details. Once you grasp the big picture, the smaller details will fall into place. To retain what you've learned, you need to test yourself. That way, the knowledge becomes personal and you'll see what you need to work on. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of the process. A lot of creative people make the mistake of relying too much on intuition. While intuition is important, it can also mislead you. Repetition may feel easy, but it doesn't mean you've mastered something. For instance, when drawing, you might keep drawing heads from memory. It might feel like you've mastered it, but you haven't. Real progress comes from deliberate practice. We often wish we could learn everything at once, but our brains need time to build neural connections. So don't overdo it. Switch between subjects, give yourself breaks, and allow time for both deep study and free exploration. The final chapter. Procrastination is normal, especially when the task feels huge. Maybe you've wanted to make music for ages, but you don't know where to start. The thought of learning can feel overwhelming. But here's the thing. Don't focus on the big, daunting picture. Focus on what you can do right now. Open a music app, experiment, or buy a small instrument just to play around with. By taking those small steps, you'll overcome the fear of learning and open up opportunities for bigger achievements. You might not be a pro yet, but by taking initiative, you'll get closer to your goal. It all starts with taking that first step. Thanks for listening. If you found this helpful, like the video, subscribe, and follow me.